is going on, everybody, and welcome on in to the Garage Beers podcast. And we have got a big show for you tonight on episode 278, as we have got a great special guest, Cleveland Browns radio color analyst Nathan Zegura is going to join us in just a little bit. Plus, a massive weekend of football ahead. College football officially back, the first big weekend, and the biggest game of the weekend is the Texas Longhorns and the Ohio State Buckeyes. We will preview that game. We'll talk about other things going on in the world of sports and so much more. So we're so glad you're here joining us on the OBR streaming network. Remember, the OBR is the best place, the oldest and largest independent Browns coverage site in all of Cleveland. So make sure you get over to the OBR.com. You hit subscribe. You get over to either our YouTube or our Twitch or wherever, and you follow and you like and you subscribe, because we're going to carry you all the way through Brown season, and you don't want to miss it, and you don't want to miss a minute on Garage Beers here, because as much Browns as we will talk, we are the place on the OBR that'll bring you all your favorite sports teams, from the Browns to the Guardians to the Cavs, the Buckeyes, the Blue Jackets, and everything else going on in the world of sports. So we're so glad you're here with us tonight. Go follow our show on socials at The Garage Beers. And that should do it for the intros. With you, as always, I'm your host, Michael Keefe. Find me online at Garage Beers Mike. And joining me, my two co-hosts out in Seattle, it's Joey Whalen. And over on the east side of Cleveland, it's Chad Meyer. Boys, what's up?
Nothing. Yeah, I got to be honest. I kind of like being on Wednesdays now, right? I look forward to Tuesdays. I look forward to Tuesdays. Tuesdays were a lot of fun, but like, I went to work the next day and I'm like, shit, we got to do this. We got to do the rest of the week now, huh? But now that we're on like hump day, I'm like, okay, all right, one day to the weekend.
Yeah, Thursday's basically Friday.
Yeah, essentially. So yeah, I'm really loving our new night.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not expected to get things done on a Thursday, am I?
I mean, I'm sorry, that's up to you.
Well, like if you stay up late, have some drinks Thursday night, whatever. It's Friday. I mean, it's really Friday.
Technically, Thursdays are thirsty, so I guess not.
Says the one guy on the show that doesn't have to leave to go to work anywhere. Just roll out of bed and go to work.
Dick.
About 5 feet that way. They're right here. Great.
Yeah, man. Well, boys, it is it's a good night for a show, and we're glad you're all joining us here live. There's a bunch of you already. There's going to be more, I'm sure, live here on the live stream. If you are live with us, jump in, join the comments, be a part of the show. Like our buddy Chef Brian K, just being an old guy, just being a retired old guy, listening to Browns and Garage Beer stuff all day long. Shout out to Chef Brian K. Do want to give a shout out, Pat Shea, our good buddy out in California, or as we call him, Pat Shayaka, 49 months in a row of being a subscriber here.
Hey,
I'm no mathematician, but that's more than 4 years, boys.
That's a while. That is a while.
That is a while.
Indeed.
A long while. That's like, we've been here about 4 years. That Pat Shea's been like the whole time.
And it's all for us. It's not even for anything else on the OBR. It's just all Garage Beers.
No, we like all the OBR. We like all the OBR. Look at Ty Sox is locked in, ready to go in the comments. And like I said, we do have a great show. We got a battle going on. How about Sean?
30 months?
30 months in a row for Sean.
Now he's all for Garage Beers.
No way. No way. Sean is here for everybody. Sean's an equal opportunity subscriber.
You got it. I don't see Sean like reading Fred's articles.
And I did find out earlier, AutoWorks Motorsports is also known as World's Fastest Fat Man. WFF, if you will. But when he's on YouTube, he's AutoWorks Motorsports. And he says very astutely in the comments, that's a lot of beers. 49 months, 30 months. Yeah. It's a lot of beers. It's a lot of beers.
Yeah. That's a ball buster, isn't it? I think it's a ball buster.
What do you mean?
World's fastest fat man? That's what it was?
Yeah, world's fastest fat man. Yeah.
I feel like he brings some witty sarcasm, ball busting to the show. I feel like I've seen some of those comments before.
Well, now he's got to be professional because he's got AutoWorks Motorsports on.
Yeah, okay.
And listen, I don't know that I can say it anymore because no free ads. World's fastest fat man, whatever it is. No free ads, buddy. All right?
Yeah. Pal.
Like I said, big time show. We're going to get in just a few minutes to an interview that I was able to do with Nathan Zegura as he was riding around yesterday talking about the Browns roster and just really giving some insight into this team. Get ready. We're less than 2 weeks away from the season, so stick around for that. And then after that, we'll talk a little bit more Browns. Big-time football game. We're going to break down that Texas versus Ohio State game. We'll talk about other big games in college football, and then we'll bring it back to Cleveland, talk about some more Cleveland sports before we get out of here. So huge show. Glad you're here. If you can't join us live, remember you can always catch us on YouTube or Twitch on demand, or you can catch us on Apple, Spotify, all that. So we appreciate however you're hanging out with us. We love you, and we appreciate you doing this. Before we get into episode 278, we have to start with our favorite segment of the week, and that segment is our Garage Beers of the Week. Got to crack the beers open before we can start talking about these sports. And so let's throw it around and do our Garage Beers of the Week. And Joe, what do we got going on out there in Seattle?
Yo. No, the Seattle beer. It's nice when I go to the store. Actually, I went to the brewery for this one. This is from, it's a collab brew. Wow. Ooh. It's a collab between a brewery I'm quite fond of here called Formula Brewing.
Okay.
Istaquah, and Lumberbeard Brewing. And it's just called There I Was. I don't know why, but there's a lot of Hoyt on the can. It's a nice little 5.4% West Coast IPA. Great little summer beer, even though it's chilly now. It's been like 90 degrees for the past 5 days. That's what balls off here, but it's nice today. So we got the windows open. We got the beer out. Cheers, boys.
Hell yeah.
Everywhere I go, there I am. There I am.
Deep Thoughts with Chad Meyer.
There I was.
All right, Chad, what about you? What's your beer of the week this week?
I got another Maine beer out of that mixed 4-pack that I got, boys, and still kind of holding on to summer here, but this is from Bunker Brewery in Portland, Maine there. Beautiful, fun little patio brewery. It's this is the Hacienda Lime Mexican Lager. Look at that.
Yes.
Ooh. Bad boy. Yeah. Hacienda Lime Mexican Lager. Yeah, and it's just like any other Mexican lager you've ever had, just with a little twist of lime. Anytime you put a lime in just a simple lager, it's just refreshing.
Do you ever put a little salt in your beer?
Yeah.
That's the beer to do with.
The beer I get from Delaware, called the Sea Heathen, already has the salt in it. You don't even have to put it in. Right? Has a dash of salt in it. Lime and sea salt. It's good.
Yum.
I will tell you, one of the best beer experiences I ever had when I lived down in Texas. We went down to a little border town in Mexico. I think it was Nuevo Progreso, I think it was called. And we walked across the bridge, walked across the border, saw all the people under the bridge asking us for stuff. It was a wild experience. Yeah. Got across the bridge into Mexico. 2 tanks were just pointed at the bridge.
Yeah.
But they welcomed us with open arms and potential tank fire. But stopped into a bar. They asked for 50 cents for a beer. I was like, yeah, I could hang out here all day.
Right.
And then on the beer, just like a mountain of, it was a Modelo, just a regular Modelo, but just a mountain of like rock salt. Not rock salt. You know what I mean? Like the big salt.
Sure.
Kosher salt.
And then just limes and lime juice all over the thing. And it was exactly what the doctor ordered. Exactly what the doctor ordered. It was great. So
last time I was in Mexico, some guy wanted me to trade his sister for my hat. Yeah. No.
So anyway, she's out back mowing the lawn.
I was walking along, like we were in Cozumel on a cruise, and we were walking out of the bar back to the ship with my drink in hand, and all of a sudden I hear, "Hey, mister, you want my sister?" And like it points out this, like, I mean, she couldn't have been more than like 16. She's like, "Sister?" And I'm with my girlfriend at the time, by the way. And she's like, "You want my sister?" Just pushes her forward. And he goes like this. He like points to my hat. I go, "No." And turn around and walk away.
What kind of hat was it?
I was going to say, I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that this story exists or that you were wearing a hat.
Oh, yeah. No, one of the few. It was my Gonzaga hat. Yeah, wow. You guys, I don't know if I was around you guys a lot. Well, not Joey especially, but I don't know if I was around you a lot at all, Mike. But it was like the first hat I found that like pretty much ever fit me. So I held on to that thing for forever.
We gotta get one of those.
That guy's sister didn't have a chance.
Yeah. So I had that hat on, so he could have offered me whatever. And I was like, "No, buddy, you ain't getting this."
All right. I got a couple in the comments. Good Mexican lager there for Chad. Drew, how about Drew switching it up? Country Boy Brewing, Cougar Bait Blonde. Drew always warms up. He comes onto my show before this, Inside the Browns Beat, was drinking a handful of Busch Heavies during that show, and now he switched it over to the Country Boy Brewing Cougar Bait Blonde. Shout out to you, Drew.
Great name, Cougar Bait.
Yeah, that's funny.
Joe Mannix, I got to know where you live, Joe, because he always has Treehouse. He always has Treehouse.
That's a good beer. The Julius.
He's going with the Julius. That's a good one. That's a good version of the Julius.
Oh, I haven't had the Julius before.
It's spectacular. Extremely spectacular. Let's see. Do I have any more? I don't know if I have any more. I'm looking. Anyways, I'll just put mine. Oh, here you go. Tie Socks. New Trail White Ale.
Nice.
Love that. Love that for us. Yeah, if you're drinking, put it in the comments and we'll get to it. Guys, I'll give a free ad to this place anytime. And I want to encourage people to go here. I went to one of my favorite places that I've ever been to this last weekend. Literally ever.
Okay.
I went out to Sandusky.
Okay.
Took the fam.
Right.
Downtown Sandusky.
Nice.
You could see the water from where we were at, but it's like a little going out street down in downtown Sandusky.
All right.
And I went to a brewery where I've had the beer before. I actually think I've had it on here before. And I know the beer is good, but the place was like life-changing. I went to a brewery called Clag.
I've heard of it.
If you remember, Clag stands for Crazy Little Asian Guy because that's the guy that owned it. And I got this beer because it's in Sandusky. Several of their beers have like a Tommy Boy theme. So I went with fat beer in a little can.
Let's go.
Which is just
nice. Let's go.
And I love it. It is the Crazy Little Asian Guy.
All right. All right.
And this is a double IPA, 8% alcohol. But what makes this place, if you're ever in Sandusky, the beer, spectacular beers.
Okay.
But then it is like the most delicious Asian restaurant that you could possibly want to eat at.
Oh, all right.
So they've mixed the two things. Incredible Asian cuisine, right? They've got everything. They've got sushi, they've got ramen, they've got everything. And then just delightful beer.
What a color.
The glass says drink beer, get pho.
Is that milk?
What do we have?
It looks like milk.
It's not milk. It is. My light's not doing it any justice, but it's a darker yellow.
But
it's really good.
Okay. We'll take your word for it.
I'll leave you, but all right.
It is really delicious. And well, I just wanted to give it a shout out. If you're ever in Sandusky, go to Clag. It is awesome. Awesome. Drew wants to know if it's a 16 ounce. Yeah, it is. No, 12? Maybe 12. I don't know.
12.
All right.
It's a big can. Whatever it is. It's delicious. Those are our Garage Beers of the Week. Thank you guys for putting yours in the comments. If you're still joining in, or you haven't put yours in there yet, we'll flash it up on the screen. But now it's time for us to get into episode 278 of the Garage Beers podcast. And again, hang out with us for a while. We got a great show. You do not want to miss our Texas-Ohio State preview that we're going to do. Plus, we're going to talk more about college football. You don't want to miss our other stuff we've got planned for the show, but we're going to kick things off with why I guess a lot of people are here, and that is our good buddy, just one of the nicest guys. Again, I always shout him out because he made me look really cool in front of my wife when he recognized me on an elevator at a Cavs game and not vice versa, and that made me feel real cool in front of my wife. I was like, you see, I'm not super stupid. One guy knows me. But we're going to throw it over to this interview. I talked to him yesterday. So, again, the interview's not live. We will be back live after the interview. But talked to him yesterday. Going to throw it out. The radio color analyst for the Cleveland Browns, Nathan Zegura. Enjoy the interview. We'll see you right after it. All right. Joined right now. So excited. A friend of the show. An overall good guy. Basically a championship level wrestler at this point.
Undefeated.
And you know him as one of the radio voices of the Cleveland Browns, along with Andrew Siciliano on the Browns radio network. It's Nathan Zegura. Nathan, man, thank you for popping back into the Garage Beers podcast.
Dude, always an honor to be back on the Garage Beers podcast as I'm about to blind myself driving into the westward sun here. But, dude, great to be with you. Yes, thank you very much for acknowledging the accolades. 1-0, beat Jeff Jarrett, no big deal.
Not a big deal.
There's also been some talk, though, by the way, of maybe perhaps there's one more match with a certain Browns legend, and are looking to maybe team up. So keep your eyes peeled. Summer of 2026.
Is he a guy that used to be much bigger than he is now in one way, but also now he's just like a super muscular guy that talks a lot about beef at this point?
I would say that you are, if we were saying like warm and cold, very hot.
So, well,
Very
absolutely hot. Right. Absolutely
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were getting into this. I didn't know we were
Oh,
getting
baby. You never know. This is just a little teaser.
This is going to be my refresh.
This is a Garage Beers exclusive, by the way.
Well, listen, we don't want it's not unofficial. We don't want to be going crazy yet.
No. Just a potential, just out there in the mix.
Be the hottest ticket in town. That's the event they should open the new stadium with. Is that one right there.
I think I might be too old by then. I might be too old.
All right, Nathan, man. Listen, it's cut down day, and we're going to air this on Wednesday, so this will air. This is Tuesday. It'll air Wednesday, so it's cut down day. The Browns have their 53-man roster. We've seen them go through the preseason. So first of all, let me just say this. Congrats on surviving it, because you made it. You made it through the preseason. You talked about a lot of guys that gave it their best, man. And this is not an easy day in that building as guys are finding out they don't have a shot. They don't have a job anymore. But I thought this was a really interesting preseason for the Cleveland Browns, maybe more so than a lot of others. And I think it plays out on this final 53-man roster, Nathan.
Yeah, it's a one where you had like a bunch of established stars on this roster, and then you had a bunch of young guys fighting for opportunities in a rookie class that I think is going to play massive roles this season. Not only that, and not just the drafted rookies, but undrafted rookies, and a lot of guys who really were kind of the standouts in camp and kept that rolling throughout the whole process. And so you look at the roster and you say to yourself, we've got a lot of big names, a lot of guys Now, there's also been a lot of things that happened in camp, right? Kenny Pickett gets hurt day 4, and so that quarterback competition never really happened. And it was a quarterback competition that, Kenny Pickett, had he stayed healthy, had a very good shot of winning. He doesn't. Joe Flacco's the quarterback. Kenny Pickett's now a Las Vegas Raider. Jordan Hicks was supposed to be your Mike linebacker. Jordan Hicks retires, surprises everybody. Carson Schlesinger steps in and looks like he's going to be a megastar. And then the one where we don't have the answer yet is, of course, MJ Emerson, who we lost early. So we don't really have that answer at cornerback, but it opened opportunities. Dom Jones, an undrafted free agent. He ends up making the 53. And then there's the running back situation. Now, this is very much the initial 53, because I guarantee you, folks, it's going to change. The Browns have 2 running backs right now on the roster, Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson. That will change. And obviously, we all want Quinshon Judkins to be back. But you think about this offseason and you think about, young guys getting opportunities. Aiden Huntington, Gage Larvidan, Dom Jones, Donovan McMillan, Easton Mascarenas-Arnold, who ended up being your leading tackler in the preseason, survives a war of attrition, in that room. And you see all these young guys really kind of step in, not to mention Isaiah Bond would be considered undrafted free agent. So them plus your rookie class, when Judkins get back, 13 of the 53 could be rookies. And then, the kicking situation. You're going with a young guy who's never kicked in the NFL before, in Schmidt. And so former Lou Groza winner at Syracuse, D-Hop struggled. They had to bite a bullet there, and they did. So it was a preseason that I think in many ways had a lot to do with what ultimately happened, going even back to the Kenny Pickett trade. Dylan Gabriel showed absolutely he can, operate this offense, and that's why he's going to be the number 2 quarterback. So I think in terms of preseason is not necessarily so much fun. You're ready for the games to count and matter, but a lot of things that happened in this preseason shaped this 53.
Nathan, Andrew Berry was on he was on the TV side, right? In the game the other day, right? He was on the TV side. Okay. Yeah. I was trying to remember where he was. He made a comment about going into the season with 4 quarterbacks. Really wasn't even a hard decision for them. That was like, that's what's going to happen. Now, obviously, a situation changes out in Vegas. They deal with a quarterback injury. Phone calls happen. Kenny Pickett gets drafted. But I just saw a lot of noise out there that was like, see, they were never going to do this. And I just felt like Andrew Berry was being sincere in that conversation, that they're prepared to go into this season with 4 quarterbacks if they need to. And then something just changed. Did you get that sense as well? Like, do you feel like they were going to roll in with 4 if
100%? Yeah. And It's because of so many things that happened that changed everything, right? Kenny Pickett gets hurt on day 4 of training camp, and so doesn't do team drills again in training camp. But they liked Kenny Pickett a lot. They weren't just going to cut him. And part of the time when a general manager is saying things like that, so look, you're not going to just be able to get this guy. If you really want him, you're going to have to make us an offer. Now, everybody on the team, except guys that would be financially impossible to trade, has a price that if a certain phone call is made and you say, okay, yeah, we're willing to meet your price, they're going to get traded. And in this case, if there weren't any offers for Kenny Pickett, they would have been fine going into it with 4 quarterbacks. There were offers for Kenny Pickett. They end up making a trade and they trade him. So that's how that ultimately went down. I think that people want to read into certain narratives that don't necessarily exist because that's how they make sense of things. They knew all along. Keeping 4 quarterbacks on its face does seem a little bit wild, but I think that the Browns would have been happy to do it because they ultimately never just wanted to let one go without it being for an asset. The only way that I think they ever would have just let a quarterback go is if, let's say, Pickett did win the job, Gabriel looked as good as he did, and you're like, okay, we're just going with all young guys, and you would maybe move on from Joe Flacco, hopefully find a partner for him, but if not, give him an opportunity to go somewhere else. But because Joe Flacco won the job, and now you've got Gabriel and Shador, it made sense that if they got an offer, they would move Pickett. They got an offer, and they moved him.
I was always flabbergasted by the people. Maybe I'm overusing flabbergasted here, but flabbergasted by the people who were flabbergasted by the idea that they would keep 4 quarterbacks, just in that it's non-conventional. But since 1999, conventional hasn't worked in finding a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. So, like,
Sure,
they got to do whatever they can do to get a quarterback situation right and to get it stabilized. And they haven't been able to do it. So I never understood why people were all freaked out about it. Like, yeah, maybe they keep an extra one. They got to find a quarterback.
Again, to me, it only made sense in the event that like Flacco was your week 1 starter, which it turned out to be because, Pickett's still on a rookie contract. He's still a young guy, and he started 25 games in this league. So you said, okay, he's a potential bite at the apple. Gabriel's a bite at the apple. Sanders is a bite at the apple. You're not going to give away one of the guys that's a bite at the apple unless Flacco's your starter week 1. And now you're saying, all right, if we get through it, the reality of the situation, too, that plays into it is if Kenny Pickett wasn't your week 1 starter, the likelihood of him putting together a body of work that was great enough to have him be, let's call it a Sam Darnold. Let's say he goes and plays lights out, right? You're not going to, the Browns would not have been able to afford him. So really all you're doing at that point is auditioning for a compensatory pick. And once you realize that Gabriel, you want to see more of him and he's shown that he's ready to step in, there's just at that point, you weren't going to go from Flacco to Pickett to Gabriel to Sanders. You were going to always go, I think, at most 3 quarterback tranches if everybody stays healthy, I'm saying. But really, the goal is whoever plays first, not to let them see another quarterback. And if Dylan Gabriel's the next guy up, his job is to not let them ever see Shador Sanders. That's just the reality of the situation.
So, Nathan, while you make your way over to talk more about the Browns on TV, I just want to run through each side of the football with you just for an outlook perspective, because now that we kind of know, again, it's the initial 53. We know the Cleveland Browns aren't going to have 2 running backs on the roster.
No, there will be,
especially knowing that we're getting back to more of Kevin Stefanski style and Tommy Rees now style offense. You got to have running backs. I think it was a bit of an eye opener when it was, announced that Pierre Strong was released. And
so with that, this is the way that I look at it.
Okay.
Is Pierre Strong stylistically is similar to both Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson. What they need is a big, like a bell cow type back in the case of somebody as talented as Quinshon Judkins, a power, bigger back complement to those two. Pierre Strong wasn't that. So he is NFL caliber. I like Pierre Strong, averaged 5 yards a carry for his career, but I think he just got, unfortunately for him, it was a numbers game of we're only going to have 2 backs in that mold, and we need to have a third back who's a bigger back, and Pierre Strong's just not that bigger back.
Yeah. So offensively, we know what we're rolling with at quarterback. Joe Flacco is going to make a lot of smart decisions out there. He might make 1 or 2 bad decisions. It's what Joe Flacco is, but he's going to get the ball up, big arm, big, strong guy, and he knows how to run this offense. The offensive line looks pretty good. They made an addition there. I think a sneaky addition. I don't know how much you were paying attention to their addition they made on the offensive line in the Rams game, but he put some pretty good film out there. And then obviously we'll see what they do with the running backs, but the wide receiver room, I also think is very interesting because they're going to give young guys a crack. It is Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman and all the young guys, and they're all going to get a crack at it. So Nathan, from an outlook perspective, from the offense as a whole, and we didn't even talk about the tight ends, who I think are going to be the prominent feature of the offense. Just talk about this offense, and can this get back to an offense that can put up some points for the Cleveland Browns? Can this get back to a team? We don't want to be doing another season where we're talking about how they can't score 20 points in a game.
No,
do we feel like this is something that can start clicking?
Yeah, especially with Joe Flacco under center. I mean, he threw for 300 yards every game, so I think that he obviously knows how to put some points on the board for the Browns. So I think we feel good about that. But, just real quick on the 53, the one thing that surprised me more than any other is that we kept 4 tight ends. Not because I think tight ends are important, but I thought that, perhaps there was a way to get Whiteheart or Bates to the practice squad. And perhaps that's where one of the spots will come from when the Browns do bring some people in. My guess is Browns could bring in somebody at running back. They could bring in somebody at linebacker, and they could bring in somebody at cornerback. I think those would be the positions you could see them maybe adding. Now, they could swap somebody out they like better at another position that's not a glaring, we need to add somebody position, but those are probably the 3. One could come out at tight end, and quite frankly, they could swap a tight end. If there's tight end they like better, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they swapped a tight end at that spot. But this is an offense that's going to be in a lot of 12 personnel, because that's going to allow the Browns to try to force teams to either get into their base defense or to stay in nickel, and that gives us a big advantage in the run game. If you can force them in their base defense now, everybody thinks in the league, the modern NFL, think about it, slot corners get paid a lot of money. Third Sam linebackers typically do not get paid a lot of money. So you want to get that person on the field, and then they can be a mismatch for Fannin or Njoku in the pass game. So I think we're going to play a lot of 12 personnel. I do think we're going to run the ball, play action shots off of it, which is why I also think it's so important to get Quinshon Judkins in here. Whatever that dispute is, I hope that the two sides can figure it out, get a resolution, and really on his side, just come in here and let's get to work, man. Let's get you going. But that's what this is going to be on offense. Now, we're deep on the offensive line, 10. I don't know how long we'll carry 10 on the offensive line in the season, but that's kind of where things started there. But this is a team that's got to run it, protect Joe Flacco, hit some shots. Jerry Jeudy is going to be your clear number 1. Then I think Njoku and Fannin have a good shot to be your second and third most productive pass catchers, honestly, and perhaps who knows what order. And then, Thrash has looked good. Cedric Tillman, I think, he is going to be good in this offense as that number 2. He's a very good blocker. And when before he got hurt last year, those 3-game stretch, he was, top 5 in the league in catches and yards and touchdowns. So there's a lot to like in there, but it's a lot more potential. I'm telling you right now, though, Harold Fannin, I believe, is going to be a huge part of what we do.
I loved it. You brought. I'm sorry. I'm a Bowling Green Falcon, so it's just this is the best.
You and Gibby.
This is the absolute best. I don't know if you noticed it throughout camp, but I remember this report from earlier in camp that it seemed like Tillman and Flacco developed a pretty solid early on chemistry relationship. And so, do you look for that to really kind of grow Cedric Tillman into, building on what he started last year? And is Flacco the guy to do it for him?
Yeah, you certainly hope so, right? I mean, Cedric Tillman's, when you walk out there, he looks like an NFL receiver. He's got the size, he's got the body, he can run. And you'd love to see him pick up where he left off last year in those 3 games, where he's averaging almost, 100 yards a game, had 2 touchdowns, 7 catches. That's productive stuff. That was with Jameis Winston, and hopefully he can do that, obviously, with Joe Flacco. But yeah, I think that Jerry Jeudy is going to get his. I think the ball after Jerry Jeudy is probably going to be spread around. It could be like a week-to-week game plan thing, whether it's a better game for Njoku, or whether this one's a better game for Fannin, or maybe it's a better game for Tillman or Thrash. And I think Isaiah Bond's going to play a role. I know they are very excited about Isaiah Bond. He has a unique skill set with his speed, and I think he's going to be involved, early in this season for the Cleveland Browns. Maybe not, paying a full compliment, but that's a guy that a lot of people thought, was a guy that would develop into a number 1, number 2 receiver. And, Lance Zierlein at NFL.com, who I think is a very respected draft analyst, his pro comp for him was Jalen Waddle. So getting him, that's another guy in that mix. But yeah, I think we'll be able to throw the ball. The key is going to be, being able to run it so that we can get that hard play action, hit those shot plays. And Joe Flacco certainly is capable of doing that. I think if Dylan's in, it's going to be much more of a rhythmic offense. And we saw his quick release, quick decision making, his accuracy there. So, but while Flacco's the quarterback, and hopefully his quarterback goes 17, because that means we're winning a lot of games and we're in playoff contention. I think that, yeah, that's the way that offense is going to operate.
Nathan, real quick on the other side of the ball. I don't know that I've ever been so excited to watch a unit play football as
The D-line, baby.
D-line, man. It is. I look at the names on the D-line, and then you got the big names, you got the big boys, you got the vets, you got the young guys, Mason Graham, the top draft pick, and then you're just going to throw a guy like Aiden Huntington in there, who has just been the star of camp and preseason. This D-line, man, has a chance to be one of the all-time great units.
Yeah, it's the one thing that has been consistent. It was consistent in Berea. It was consistent when we went to Charlotte with Carolina. It was consistent when we went to Philly against the defending Super Bowl champions. It was consistent against the Rams. Obviously, now that was, the bottom of their roster with the Rams, but everywhere that defensive line has gone, they've been game wreckers. And Miles looks to be better than ever. You've got a situation where you've got guys who are going to be able to operate in waves with Alex Wright playing well, Isaiah McGuire playing well, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, former first-round pick, Cam Thomas has played well. Then you go on the inside, Mason Graham, Malik Collins is a professional pass rusher. We haven't even gotten to see Mike Hall, who just got cleared today, and they're thrilled that he's back. He looks to be in the best shape of his life, and he is a game wrecker. Shelby's playing well. Aiden Huntington. I mean, all 10 of those guys on that line can play, and you've got the star of stars in Miles. Yeah, this is going to be a very fun defensive line to watch. And quite frankly, it has to be the backbone of not just this defense, really of this team, because when you lose MJ Emerson, I still think our third cornerback is an issue right now. Now, yes. Cam Mitchell, Miles Harden, Dom Jones, they're going to get opportunities to turn what is a perceived weakness into a strength. But it's not something that we've seen. It's not established. So you're going to need to get pressure, and it's going to start week one. Think about the murderer's row of quarterbacks that we play right out of the gate. You go down Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. I keep wanting to call Joe Burrow Carson Palmer for some reason. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, Jared Goff. Now, J.J. McCarthy, we'll see what he is there, but that's an offense that's been very productive, and certainly we'll have, Justin Jefferson. I think by then Addison is back, and they've got Hawkinson, so they can throw the ball around the yard. And then you've got Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. I mean, that is a tough opening 6 games of quarterbacks. So your pass defense is going to have to be on it. And the best way to help your coverage is to get after the quarterback. If you can not give them time to throw, not give them time to hit those big plays, you can be dominant. I think that is going to be the recipe for Jim Schwartz, and he's going to be able to run these guys in waves. Everybody's going to be fresh when they're out there.
Listen, I don't want to put too much on the kid. But when I look at that defense, because I think they're built to come right back and be right back in form from where they were a couple of years ago. But, we've talked about the injuries. We've talked about Emerson and JOK, and we've talked about, unexpected retirements and all that. How crucial, how important all of a sudden is this rookie second-round linebacker, Carson Schlesinger, and how important is it that he's looked the way he has and kind of immediately gained the trust of everybody in the building? As a kid that came in, I mean, his story's unbelievable, right? Walk-on city, and he immediately has kind of taken things over.
He has been nothing short of spectacular. Jason Tarver, the linebacker coach, could not love him anymore. He is already a leader on the team. He's going to play 1,000 snaps this year. Let's hope, knock on wood, hopefully he can stay healthy, but he's going to play 1,000 snaps. He is the Mike linebacker. I think he's going to be a fan favorite in Cleveland. He is everywhere. He is instinctual. He's got unbelievable hips at his size, his ability to move in space. He's 240 pounds. So he's a great blitzer. He is the guy that plays the run very well. He was, led the nation in solo tackles. And just in the time that he's been out there on the field, it feels like he's involved in every single play that he's out there. And then he's very good in coverage. So he is everything that you want out of that position. He is, as I said, such a quick learner. Yes, of course he makes mistakes. He's playing fast, but he doesn't repeat his mistakes. They are over the moon about him and excited to see him. There'll be some learning pain because, listen, we just talked about that quarterback, row that the Browns have to open the season with, that gauntlet. That's kind of the chess matches with the Mike linebacker. They're going to make their checks. You're going to check their checks. They're going to check your checks. That's kind of the quarterback of the defense versus the quarterback of the offense. So it'll be interesting to watch his development. It's going to be baptism by fire, but he's been so good, and they are so excited about him. That's not even a concern. You lose JOK and Jordan Hicks, and right now they're not even concerned because of Schlesinger, and Devin Bush has played well. Jerome Baker's played well. We'll get Diabate back, but Yeah, now I get to the future and I think I'm like, we could have Schlesinger and JOK out there
I
together.
know.
That feels like that would be very, very special.
Very special. All right, Nathan, we know you got to go. You got to go talk more about the Cleveland Browns. But one last question. The Cleveland Browns flying under the radar amongst the national coverage. Again, I think the assumption that everybody, I think, is just lazily making is that the Cleveland Browns are bad and they're going to be bad. So they're flying under the radar. Is that just exactly where we want to be with these guys? Is that exactly where we want to be?
Yes. Man, low expectations and then exceed them. And right now, I think people are sleeping on this team. I think that a lot has to go right, for this team to go back to the playoffs like they did a couple of years ago. But we have the opportunity you talked about to have a transcendent defense with that defensive line. You've got quarterback in Joe Flacco who knows how to operate this offense, has been successful. We've seen it 5 straight games with 300 yards, 4-1 as a starter. You got a Pro Bowler in Jerry Jeudy. David Njoku's a Pro Bowler. They're going to get this run game figured out, and hopefully we get Quinshon Judkins in here. You've got one of the better offensive lines in the league. You've got one of the best cornerbacks in the league in Denzel Ward. You've got an exciting young linebacker in Carson Schlesinger. You've got Grant Delpit. So you've got guys all over the field. It's just going to come down to this team's ability to execute. And if this team flying under the radar, not a lot of hype, maybe some people sleep on the Browns early and you can go and win some games, start to build some momentum. But it's a team that, as long as they don't beat themselves, I think they're going to be in a lot of games. And while the record is going to certainly be better than last year, like the Browns are going to be a tough out for anybody, I think. If they come and play the game the way that they are built to play this game, they'll be a tough out for anybody. When you're a tough out in the NFL, it takes one call, it takes one ball to bounce one way, one turnover, and that's the difference between winning and losing. And so when you're in those situations, you can build some momentum. So it's going to be tough. I mean, the first 6 teams you play are 40 games over 500 a year ago. That is a tough start. But if you can get going, if you can come out of the first 6 even 3-3, you would be like, okay, we've got a real chance here.
100%. And we're going to be able to listen to you and Andrew, Gerard, the whole Browns radio network, bring it to us all season. Hey, man, I appreciate everything. I appreciate you coming on. And I really appreciate the joy that you bring to calling these games. You and Andrew, you do a great job.
Thank you, man.
I can't wait to listen all season long. Nathan Zegura, thank you so much for jumping in on the Garage Beers podcast with us.
Ah, man, my pleasure. We will do it again soon. Hopefully, like sometime in the season when we got some wins under our belt. And we got a little excitement to talk about. Always happy to do it, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. Appreciate it, Nathan.
All right.
I almost forgot to unmute myself. There I am. I'm unmuted. Hey, big shout out to Nathan Zegura. Again, Browns radio color analyst. And a guy that's really just, wow. Wow, Chad.
Excuse me.
You got a new microphone. It picks up on that stuff, brother.
Yes. Yeah. Forgot that one. It was a good
Just
push, though.
Just a belch. Just
Good.
Wow.
It was real good.
Big shout out to Nathan. Again, can't wait to listen to him call games. By the way, I meant to even talk to him about this, but like just a meteoric rise for Nathan Zegura from a guy that kind of was a guy that not everybody knew, started like doing just some sideline reports and online stuff for the Browns and stuff like that, to really like the man is like the Browns, I don't know, ambassador for the city of Cleveland at this point. He's great in the booth. He's great on his media stuff. Just a really good guy. And we really appreciate his friendship here on the Garage Beers podcast. So big time shout out to Nathan, boys. Sad you guys couldn't be there for the interview, but it was a little bit of a weird time that we had to do it. No, Nathan couldn't have a beer with us. You saw he was in his car. But just a couple thoughts.
Excuses.
Couple thoughts on what you heard from Nathan in that interview.
Well, he was a fantasy football guy. Like even before he was with the Browns, like he was a fantasy football guy. He went from that. I mean, I think he had his own website or something. But yeah, yeah. You know what? I completely agree with him, especially from a defensive side of the ball. I think that the defensive line definitely has to be the backbone of this team, and I think it's going to be. I mean, when you can run 10 different guys out there and they're all and rotate them and they're all effective, like there isn't a weak link on that defensive line. I do think they're going to be kind of the straw that stirs the drink on this. How much pressure can they put on the opposing team's quarterback? How effective are they going to be in the run game to open things up for Carson Schlesinger and whoever the hell else is going to be the linebackers in that core? So, yeah, I really think that it's going to be exciting to watch. Carson Schlesinger, I don't know if you saw my tweet, but he gives me major like Luke Kuechly vibes. Like he's wise beyond his years. He's on the play before it even starts.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm really excited to watch him. And then if for some reason the other team does get time, of course you're worried about the defensive backfield. That nickel MJ Emerson down. Denzel Ward is good to miss a few games every year. So yeah, there isn't the defensive backfield is a little thin, but if that front seven can be as effective as they are, we should be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe. I was waiting for you. I didn't know if you were going to jump in there.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say I enjoyed his perspective of the Browns are going to be a tough out this year. I think that we all know how difficult this first stretch of the schedule is, but I think I'd like to think that this team isn't going to just roll over like we've seen last year with this team. I feel like Joe Flacco, however inconsistent he is, he's still going to get the ball downfield. He's still going to score or help this team score on offense. And the thing that I am really optimistic about him in the starting position or starting quarterback position is he can hopefully put together drives to keep this defense off the field. And we know that was just the Achilles heel for us last year. Our defense, I think it was surprising how they played last year, obviously. But they just run the field so much. I mean, there's only so much you can ask of those guys. And, for this front line to be as effective as we all know they can be, and for the linebacker core to hopefully be a stronger this year, they need to be off the field a little more than they were last year. And so I hope that more balanced approach and capabilities of this team can make them a tougher out. And when you're in those close games, gives you an opportunity to win more than we would have last year.
I've thought more about like the situation that they're in, and it really feels like everything about this team is riding on Joe Flacco, right? Like everything rides on Joe Flacco. If they can keep him healthy, one. And then I start thinking about Joe Flacco, and I have been pretty vocal in that I don't think he's the world's greatest quarterback anymore, even though I don't dislike him. I don't think he's amazing, but here's what I've come to terms with. It not only can you keep him healthy, but if you can keep Joe Flacco like engaged the right way in the offense, you got a shot to win games this year. And here's what I mean by that. I think what you saw from Joe Flacco last year when things started going off the rails for Indianapolis, but he was still in there. What you got to try to do is keep Joe Flacco within the system of the offense and don't make him feel like he has to carry everything, because that's when you see Joe Flacco just start throwing like pick after pick after pick. When things start going a little bit the wrong way, they need to keep him just run our system. Maybe something bad happened over here, but we're going to come back and just stay in the game. Keep your head in right where we are. Stay calm. You don't have to do everything for this team. And I think if they could just like keep him kind of laser focused on, you don't have to be a hero. You just need to be a guy that understands how to spread the ball around, move the offense. Joe, I think you said it perfectly. If this team can just get a couple first downs on drives, even if it results in a punt, it's a much bigger difference than just going 3 and out and bringing your defense back out. If Joe Flacco can just be a solid game manager type quarterback type guy, they're going to have a chance in every game they play.
The success of an NFL team depends on the quarterback?
I know. No way.
No way. And yeah, he is. And good thing for him, Kevin Stefanski is kind of a steady hand. It's like a steady force. He's very even keeled. He's always very on the same page as his quarterback. Like he's not a guy who panics usually. So yeah, I think if that situation does occur where they get behind, I think Kevin Stefanski is a guy that can reel his guys back in. And yeah, sure. And Joe is a consummate pro, and sure, I think it won't be hard for him to kind of calm Joe down if he even does get anxious. Like he doesn't even look like he barely has barely has any sort of emotion when he's playing.
But I think we saw it, Chad. Well, I guess what I'm talking about is we saw it here in Cleveland the first time around. As good as he was in so much of what he did, sometimes games would start getting away from him. And that's what I mean. I don't even want to bring up just the Houston game, but you saw it in the Houston game. You saw it in other games where it was like all of a sudden Joe's trying to make throws that do not exist and that like are not anymore in the flow of the offense. So it's like just kind of keeping him, just gear it back a little bit, run the offense. And again, I just think we're going to do the schedule game next week. We'll see how that turns out. But like, I just think they are so much more prepared to go out there and look like a real NFL offense this year, even without some stuff. Like there's some other things I want to talk to you guys about. One, and I asked this question when I had my other show with Scott Petrak. You look at the wide receiver room on this offense, right? And it was a big concern at the end of last year. And then they didn't do anything big to improve it. Right? Jerry Jeudy, you want him to just come back and do the same thing. A healthy Cedric Tillman should matter. But now you're still talking about Jamari Thrash. And now you're talking about Isaiah Bond and Gage Larvidan. And like, you didn't do anything to do this massive improvement to the wide receiver room. But like, I feel like I'm more confident in it than I was 3 months ago.
Well,
Is anybody else feeling this? Like, I feel actually like I watch some of these guys out there. I watch the growth from Thrash. I've heard the reports about Tillman and his, rapport with Flacco. And all of a sudden I feel like, and Isaiah Bond, I mean, if he's good, I feel like the wide receiver room's okay.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with going back to Stefanski's system, right? I mean, Stefanski, what's the worst the Browns have done in Stefanski's system? 7-9? Is that the worst the Browns have done with his system in place? You know, they tried to make the system around a guy last year. That guy last year, I even forget his name. They tried to tailor make the system for that, and they got away from what was working with how this team was built. And going back to this system, I think really helps and fits the personnel. Right, you bring in Fannin. I mean, it's a system that relies heavily on the run, a zone scheme run, and the tight ends and the play action passing game. And I think I think going back to that system is going to bode well. How that's going to what record that's going to translate into, I don't know. But it's certainly going to translate into something better than it has to translate into something better than it was last year. It's not going to. It has to.
The other thing that happened, we were talking about it with Nathan. Again, my interview with him was yesterday, so we didn't see the waiver wire stuff. We didn't see any of the transactions from today yet, but we did have some waiver wire stuff. And I think the Browns, I think the most notable thing on the waiver wire was running back Raheem Rocket Sanders, who played at Arkansas for a bit, then played at South Carolina last year, was released. Where was he? Seattle? No.
San Diego.
San Diego. Yeah, right. Where they have 47 running backs. He gets released by the Chargers, not San Diego, the LA Chargers.
Whatever they are.
I know, it's fair. I knew what you were saying.
Yeah, you go.
And so now your running back room is Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson and Rocket Sanders. And we have no idea what's going to happen with Quinshon Judkins. So we'll just palms up and wait for that. But I'm very excited to see if they let Raheem Sanders get some touch, because Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson are kind of similar backs in what they do. And Raheem Sanders kind of looks like Nick Chubb out there. And I listen, I want to say this because I was very careful on my last show with this, but I'm not going to be careful here. There's some Nick Chubb to this dude. He's very fast. He's got very good vision, but he's built like a brick shithouse. Like there's a little bit of Nick Chubb to this dude that they brought in. And I hope they give him a shot to touch the ball a few times, because I don't know if he can ever develop into that kind of guy. But I really liked the addition of Raheem Sanders today. And in a very shallow running back room, he's going to get his touches.
Just trying to picture a brick shit house.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Like
If you could draw it and then put it on the screen.
Yeah,
picture a toilet, Joe, and then surround it with bricks.
I would want it to be like well ventilated, though. Is he well ventilated?
Well, yeah, you put a fan in there.
He's got excellent lungs. He breathes.
You put a Harold Fannin in there.
Hey,
second week in a row with a pun. Let's go.
Oh boy.
What?
The other thing Nathan said that got me going. Imagine next year we get word, or sometime this year even, we get word that next year JOK is going to be back, and he's going to be back and playing. I'm starting to have my doubts, but imagine we got that word that he's going to be able to return and come back and play, and then it's Schlesinger and JOK out there at the same time
with that D line. Oh my!
Yeah, if that situation were to happen, it's the number one defense in the NFL.
I'm going to need to run myself into the brick shit house. With shit running down my leg because I'll be so excited about it.
Oh God,
so excited about it.
Oh God, yeah, it's the number one defense in the NFL if that happens. That's period, point blank. If that were to happen, it's far and away on paper at least the number one defense in the NFL.
Yeah, and there's just so much. There's so many things I'm excited about, and I don't know how the games are going to go. I don't know if they're going to win games. I don't know if they're going to lose games. I can't wait to watch Mason Graham and Alex Wright has looked so good, and Isaiah McGuire has looked so good, and Mike Hall is back, and I want Aiden Huntington out there every play of every game. I think I want him to be the fullback, and I want him to be a defensive tackle, and there's so much of that I'm excited about. I am excited to watch this defensive backfield because all the talk is that nobody thinks it's going to be all that good. But with the starters out there, it's a good defensive backfield, right? Grant Delpit is a hell of a player. Ronnie Hickman was really good last year. And you still have Greg Newsome and you still have Denzel Ward. So if they stay healthy and those guys are out there, still a really good defensive backfield, even though they could use help at the nickel corner. They're still set up to be a good defense. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the tight ends. I don't know how many games they're going to win. I think that's all going to depend on so many factors. But there's enough to be excited about. And the last question I'll ask about the Browns to you guys. I've seen it being talked about both ways, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. There's this influx of youth with the Browns, right? 6 undrafted. Well, now only 5 undrafted free agents because they cut Dom Jones today. But 5 undrafted free agents make the team. A bunch more rookies are on the roster and probably getting play. I think it's like 13 to 15 guys are going to be like rookie level players on this team. And I've seen some people like kind of upset about it, saying like this clearly signals that they view this as a rebuilding year and they're not taking this year seriously. And then I've seen other people, and I'll tell you where I fall in it. I think you've cut a lot of dead weight from this team. You've cut a lot of dead weight from this team. And so you still have a ton of high caliber players that you're now just infusing some youth into. I don't view that as them giving up on this season before it starts. I don't know. I don't know how you guys view it.
What?
Rebuild is such a broad term. But I don't know. When you don't have a sure thing at quarterback, I feel like you're just automatically in a rebuild with the NFL. If you have a known stud at quarterback that can take you to a Super Bowl, and you can say that confidently going into the season, you might as well, be in a rebuild. I don't think this is like a strip the studs rebuild, but like it is infusing, like you said, infusing youth into some really high caliber players. I think we've kept and are continuing to work with the players that like can really have an impact or really in their prime of their career. So it's like, it's not a traditional rebuild, but there are rebuilding elements to this season.
And not to mention, I mean, when you look across the board at the starters on this team, the Browns are old. Like the Browns are older, right? And then when you look at it, they could use some youth. But if you really, really look at it, there's only 3 guys that are going to get a ton of playing time. That's Carson Schlesinger, Mason Graham, and Harold Fannin. Like outside of that, there's just a bunch of rookies, and this youth is just going to be helping out in other areas. So I don't really understand that sentiment where people think that, this is just an automatic rebuild just because we got an influx of youth. Like, no, these guys are going to be contributing in other ways. So
I would add some names to your list. I would add, if Quinshon Judkins shows up, I'd add him to the list.
Well, sure.
Dylan Sampson's going to play a lot, and if not Dylan Sampson, Raheem Sanders is going to play a lot because you're going to have to play more than just Jerome Ford at running back. Isaiah Bond is going to play a lot. So there's going to be a lot of guys.
Well, see, I don't know. I guess I'm not really thinking of like rotational players. Like I'm thinking of guys who are going to be out there a lot more than just being like a rotational player.
I gotcha. Yeah, listen. The last thing I will do, well, you know what? I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this for our next segment. I do want to get one last comment in here on the Browns, and then we're going to move to our Asshole of the Week segment. But a not Asshole of the Week, World's Fastest Fat Man got his other account back. Number one thing he took from the Zegura interview is that him and a certain potential Hall of Fame type Cleveland Brown player going for the tag team titles at some point.
Let's go.
And Zegura is breaking it on the Garage Beers podcast. Listen, you better watch for the tickets. I went to the Nathan Zegura Jeff Jarrett match. Had a great time. And if Nathan and a certain Joe Thomas team up, I think they could do some damage.
Oh, you said the name, you didn't say the name.
Oh, we all knew who he said.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Damage. Look out, tag team division. They're coming. All right, guys. Let's go to our Asshole of the Week segment. That's a good bit on the Browns. Again, check it out next week. We're gonna do the Browns schedule game where we go through and we all predict the Browns schedule. You don't want to miss that one. It's one of our favorite things that we do every year. I have a feeling this year's is gonna look a little different than years past. So make sure you're tuned in from that. But
that'll make it more fun.
Yeah, I have a feeling nobody's gonna have him at 17-0. This year. I've got a sneaking suspicion that doesn't happen. But let's get into our Asshole of the Week segment where we call somebody out for just being a total asshole. And I'll go first because I've got the one that I wrote down, but then I've got the one that I wanted to talk about right there. I know this is an eternal answer that can go on and on, but Deshaun Watson is such an asshole. Quit posting your bullshit videos online acting like you're going to come back. There's no comeback for Deshaun Watson. You can post all the videos you want of doing cone drills in an empty field house, throwing 4-yard passes and being like, look at the pinpoint accuracy. But you suck and you're a terrible person. And nobody, and I speak for Cleveland here.
You're a terrible
and
person.
I try not to speak for everybody, but I speak for Cleveland when I say, get the hell out of here. Knock the shit off. We don't want you here anymore. You've done nothing good here. You've been nothing but a pain in the ass. Again, I've said this before. You didn't even make it worth, for those of us that stuck around, you didn't even make it worth our time. Quit posting workout videos on your Instagram, you douchebag. You suck. Go away forever. That's my one asshole of the week. My other one, I'm going to keep it in the quarterback realm. RG3, man, is such a grifter.
He really grinds your gears.
He's such a grifter.
He's like a 4 or 5 time asshole of the week now.
He's such a grifter, man.
RG3, what? Hold on, time out. What is a grifter? Like people say that, but what is a grifter?
It's a guy that he's just saying things that he's trying to say whatever he thinks is going to make more people pay attention to him.
Ah, okay.
That's all he does.
Yeah.
If you listen to RG3 talk and you think he has a single, original, authentic thought that comes out of his mouth, not at all.
No,
He is the definition of a grifter. He thinks he's always just going to say the next controversial thing. And to be honest with you, you know what really pissed me off this week? He decides to go out and make the Shedeur Sanders never had a chance. They drafted Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And I love that everybody called him out because they were like, hey, remember when they drafted you in Washington and Kirk Cousins in the same draft? Did Kirk Cousins get a fair shake? Did Kirk Cousins get a fair shake? RG3? You're over here saying, oh, they drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd and Shedeur Sanders in the 5th, and they never gave Shedeur Sanders a fair shake. Oh, really? When they made you the automatic starter week 1, did they give Kirk Cousins a fair shake? You stupid idiot. And he had the audacity. To make this video wearing his, because remember, he drank a cup of coffee with the Cleveland Browns one season. He had the audacity to put his Browns jersey on and act like he's some representative of the Browns. No. You're a grifter. You everything you say is bullshit. Everything you say is bullshit. Look, Drew in Brick City said it in the comments. He's exactly right. The guy just wants, he's a clickbait artist, and that's all he's become. And he's an asshole. And he's getting my co-asshole of the week with Deshaun Watson. Enjoy that company, RG3. You and Deshaun Watson. Enjoy it.
You know what makes me laugh about you, Mike, is you get baited hook, line, and sinker with these big feelings and reaction guys. Like the amount of tweets I've seen from you lately going, reminder, we don't need big feelings on everything. You just get so hooked on it, man. And it makes me laugh. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It just makes me laugh how you get hooked on it.
It's fair. And I do get hooked on it because you just see everybody just is like, I have to have this huge opinion on everything. And you're like, settle down. Settle down. Chill out. And those two guys are assholes. All right. Those are my assholes of the week. Chad, who's your asshole of the week?
Oh, Joe. Okay, Joe, you go.
Oh, well,
Okay.
Joe,
you sent us a text saying there's some picture, and I'm so curious.
Yeah.
That's why I was saving his for last.
Oh, my bad. I'll go. That's fine. My asshole of the week is Rampage Jackson's son. Okay. All right. Did you see this at all, Joe?
Rampage Jackson's son, no.
Yeah, the fighter. Rampage Jackson's son. His name's Raja, the tiger from Aladdin. So he was at some wrestling event, some independent wrestling event, and there's video before of them showing him and this other wrestler. Oh, hey, welcome back, Mike. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I meant to come out after the Zegura interview and put my ZWO shirt on because he's going to team up with Joe Thomas. Then he announced it on the show, and I forgot to do it, so I didn't want to change in front of the camera, so I turned it off. Sorry.
Sure. Oh, good. Okay.
And yes, this is an asshole of the week. Keep going.
Like if I had to see your nipples, oh my God.
Girthy.
Yeah, I don't know how you say it. Raja Jackson. He was at some independent wrestling event, and one of the other wrestlers, Psycho Stu, is his wrestling name, was messing with him. So he did incite, he made him mad. He hit him over the head with a bottle or something. And he got mad. But then you fast forward to the actual wrestling part of it. Raja gets in the ring, slams this guy on the ground. The guy is clearly knocked unconscious. And he proceeds to just pummel this guy while unconscious 20, 30 times at least.
Yeah, Joe, in a UFC event where at the somebody will get knocked out and then they'll jump on and then the ref will pull him off
immediately. Yeah.
Imagine the ref isn't there to pull him off. He's just on him, just wailing away.
Away. It had to have been 20 or 30 times before any wrestlers came in and backed him off. So it's on the one hand, I get why he got pissed off at what the guy did beforehand, but when a guy's unconscious, no, you won. You leave him alone.
Well, and just to fill in the gaps a little bit, they set this up like this was going to be a match.
Yeah.
And so Raja confronted this, what's his name? Psycho
Stu.
I want to say Psycho Sid, rest in peace.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
He showed up to a place where the Psycho Stu guy was with a bunch of cameras, and Psycho Stu thought they were working. He thought they were doing a promo to get ready for this match. So he took a beer can and smashed it over this kid's head. And apparently the kid didn't realize that they thought they were in a work. They thought they were in a setup thing.
Yeah.
So what makes this bad though is this Psycho Stu dude, there's video of him coming up to him after that happened and apologizing and being like, man, I thought we were cutting a promo. I thought this was a work for the show. I didn't realize that you didn't think it was that. So I was just I was making a wrestling promo. That's normal stuff that we would do here. And he just kept saying oh, I'm really sorry, man. apology after apology after apology. And this fake dude was like, it's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. And then he just proceeded to like legitimately damn near kill the dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yikes.
Crazy.
All right, Joe. Here you go, buddy.
Speaking of
I'm
death.
putting yours up.
All right. I went to a Mariners game on Monday night, which I will get
Dear
into my cheers of the
Lord.
week. But we get, and it's not a religious thing because there's definitely some motivation behind why these guys stand outside the stadium. But on the right is my asshole of the week. These are the fear God megaphone people that, if you've ever been to a Seattle Mariners game, will stand out on every corner by every entrance to the game. And their goal is to incite some violence against them so they can sue you and all that stuff. But we have saviors now. That's this guy. Hey, Cal, can you take a big dumper in this guy megaphone sign? And he stands next to him now before the game and just points at him. And it's so funny. We always take the guys on the right's papers and just throw them in the trash. Trying to do our part here. But these guys suck. Like, it's just like the Mariners games are so fun. It's a beautiful stadium. And they're just like a gated asshole to get into the stadium. It sucks to have to go by them every time. So they suck. I hate them so much, but this guy's a champ on the left.
I guess I didn't realize, but now that I think about it, the one trip I made out to Seattle, these dudes are everywhere.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just games. I don't know if they do it for like cracking games as well.
I remember they were all over the Pike Place Market. They were everywhere down there, just screaming into their megaphones. Like,
there's a big thing I'm getting
to
to now. Why they're doing this is not a religious reason, but it's unfortunate.
Well, asshole on the right, cheers on the left. Take a big dumper, buddy. Take a big dumper. All right, those are our assholes of the week. If you got one, put it in the comments or let us know online. But now, boys, for the last 20 minutes of the show, because this show just flies by for us at least. Let's do a little college football talk, because the weekend of college football is finally here. Listen to some of the games happening this weekend. There's like this crazy shit talking going on between Alabama and Florida State.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Florida State's expecting to be on like the come up this year after how bad they were last year.
It could get any worse.
But there is this fierce shit talking between Florida State and Alabama. That's happening in Tallahassee this weekend. How about the Battle of the Death Valleys? LSU and Clemson in Clemson. So it's the Orange Death Valley. That is a night game in Death Valley and Clemson. That's going to be awesome to watch.
Mm-hmm.
How about two top 10 teams, Notre Dame and Miami? I think that Miami team is going to be pretty good, and I think Notre Dame probably will as well.
Yeah.
So two top 10s taking it to each other in Miami. But the headliner, a game that I'm going to be at, a game that Chad's going to be working.
Yeah.
A game that Joey's going to have to get
I'll be waking up at 8:34.
Crack a beer at 9 a.m., buddy. The number 3 Ohio State Buckeyes, the reigning defending national champions, taking on the number 1 ranked, top-ranked quarterback that's never really earned that, but he's got a cool last name, I guess. The Texas Longhorns and Arch Manning coming into Columbus. This is how we're kicking things off. 2 quarterbacks that have virtually no experience between the two of them. Arch Manning finally getting his shot after the Quinn Ewers experience is done in Texas. And then Julian Sayin, a guy that has really taken no snaps hardly ever as well for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I mean, like, on paper, it doesn't get better than this week 1.
No. There's 2 weekends in college football. Like this weekend and like September 28th or something like that is supposed to be another just unreal slate. But yeah, this one is this. I'm so excited to watch this one. I'm going to be over at my. I'm going to be down there. I'm going to be all over the place afterwards to watch it. To watch all of this go on, and I will probably be very heavily intoxicated.
It's crazy because, but. Oh, go on, Chad. Sorry.
No. I can't wait. College football next to hockey is probably my favorite sport, and I'm so excited for Saturday.
It's so fun to watch. And am still thinking of Central Time in these games starting at like 11 or noon, and so I scheduled my haircut appointment at like 10 because I was like, great, I'll go get a haircut. I'll go to the grocery store, grab a rotisserie chicken, make some buffalo chicken dip, sit down, watch the game, and I'm like, oh shit, it starts at 9. Like,
get a coffee, buddy.
Go to a Sport Clips. Just go to a Sport Clips. They'll have the game on.
Yeah, I literally, while you guys are talking, I just rescheduled it for 1. So I will just go hammered to my haircut, and it'll be great.
So, guys, let's talk about this game because, again, both teams have lost a ton since the last time we saw these two teams, which was in the national semifinals. So literally, it was just 2 games ago that we saw Ohio State take on Texas. Texas, a different ball club. Again, Quinn Ewers was at the helm. They had quite a few guys leave. No more Matthew Golden there. That was their number 1 receiver. Obviously, Isaiah Bond with the Cleveland Browns. Gunnar Helm is gone. Some offensive linemen out of there. Defensively, Texas took major hits kind of all across the board. That defense decimated by the draft. Again, it was a really good Texas team to make it to the national semifinals. But all eyes are on Arch Manning down there in Texas. On the other side of things, Ohio State, new quarterback, but plenty of returning offensive linemen, a very different looking running back room. Obviously, Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins out of there, but Jeremiah Smith is still lining up at wide receiver offensively. So, Chad, Joe, let's start on that side of things. The Ohio State offense against the Texas defense.
Julian saying, are you listening? You're listening. You're listening. Coming close. Coming close. I just want to say,
Julian?
Julian saying.
Oh, Julian.
I just want to say something to you. You've been given the keys to a Lamborghini. Don't fucking crash it. That's all you got to do. That's all you have to do. You don't need to be a hero. This is your first game. You're breaking in. You're breaking in your college football, your Division I college football experience against Texas. You don't need to be a hero. All you have to do, you're surrounded by, like I said, just Lamborghinis. All you got to do is get the ball in their hands and let them go to work. You don't have to do anything special, at least not until you get comfortable and in a rhythm. Just take what the defense is giving you, and you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. You have the best player in the country in Jeremiah Smith. All right, lining up on the outside, lining up on the inside. I don't know. Brian Hartline's going to get very creative with this. You have all of the weapons at your disposal. All you need to do is get the ball in their hands. You don't need to do anything fancy. You don't need to force anything, right? You might start with a couple of 3-and-outs because, yes, it's your first college game. You might be nervous. Nerves might be abound. All right? Texas is going to try to come after you. They're going to try to blitz you all over the place. They're going to try to confuse you. Take what the defense is giving you. And nobody's going to and nobody can fault you for that. Okay? If you got to punt a couple times and let the defense take over, fine. But if he can do that, if he can just start this game by just getting the ball in the playmaker's hands, I think later on in the game, once you get in a rhythm, I think this is going to bode well for Ohio State. Texas, I don't know if I can talk very well about the Texas defense because they're breaking in a lot of new players as well, but they do still have Colin Simmons, yes, who can get after the quarterback. I think it's I think this matchup, if you ask me, between the new people that they're breaking in on defense on Texas, who are very good, by the way. I mean, Texas is obviously got all that oil money. They have a lot of great players to back up those guys that they lost. But I think the matchup as far as the Ohio State offense versus the Texas defense goes, if you ask me, I think Ohio State, I give the leg up to Ohio State on this strictly because of all of the playmakers that are surrounding Julian Sayin.
I think that's a perfect take, Chad. It's exactly what I was thinking. It's just Julian Sayin is the new blood in the situation, but the playmakers on this offense are just world-class talent. And just be patient, be calm, be collected. You'll be protected. You'll have guys open. Just go through your reads and relax. Like, this team is rolled out to you on a red carpet. Just don't mess it up. Just don't mess it up.
Yeah.
That's all.
we obviously know about Jeremiah Smith. We know about Carnell Tate, Brandon Innes, like the wide receiving group. Like it's not just Jeremiah Smith. It is good wide receivers all the way around. But what do we know about these running backs? Because again, guys that there's maybe a couple guys that got a couple touches here or there, but when you lose Judkins, you lose Travion Henderson. It's James Peoples, it's C.J. Donaldson, it's Bo Jackson. These are the guys that are going to be toting the rock for Ohio State. And I do think in a game against Texas where you want to ease the pressure on Julian Sayin a little bit, what's one good way to do that? Be able to effectively run the ball a little bit. So what do we know about these, Chad? What do we know about these running backs for Ohio State?
Well, I mean, we know Bo Jackson very well. He went to Villa Angela St. Joseph. He's from this area. He's a big guy. He's 6'3". He's 220 pounds, something like that. He is fast as shit. Like
he's shit fast.
He is very elusive. He is very powerful. He can catch the ball out of the backfield very well. I like his game. You know, I like his vision. I'm not a fan. C.J. Donaldson's a transfer in from West Virginia. I don't like the way he runs the football. He runs very stiff, right? He's very upright. I'm not a fan of the way he runs the football. So if you ask me, like for my money, I would hope that the bulk of the work, I mean, obviously they're going to mix it up. But I hope to see the bulk of the work to Bo Jackson and James Peoples, because those guys are the more with an athletic defense, because I'm assuming Texas is going to have a lot of athletes on that defense. With an athletic defense on the other side, I think you need athletes at that running back position, and James Peoples and Bo Jackson are the better mix than C.J. Donaldson. Obviously, C.J. Donaldson's going to get his touches. I mean, he's a big guy, 6'3", 220 pounds. Really hard, really hard to tackle. But I just think you need a little bit more elusiveness in that backfield as far as this matchup is concerned to be able to be effective.
Go to the other side, guys, and we look at the Ohio State defense, and I think the name you're always going to talk about is Caleb Downs, who I think Caleb Downs is on his way to being a safety that's taken top 5 in the draft. That's how good this dude is, and that's how important he was for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Throw in guys like Donovan Igbenogson, who has been
motherfucker.
You might hate him, but
so much.
But he's been a multi-year producer for Ohio State, and he makes big plays. He tends to make big plays.
He also tends to take pass interference penalties all the time.
He does, but he also makes big plays. Lorenzo Styles, what game was it? Where'd they play in a baseball stadium? Was that against Northwestern last year?
Yeah. Yep.
Didn't he have that ridiculous interception where he just took the ball out of somebody's hands in the end zone in that game? Igbenogson can play a little bit.
I don't like him at all. I don't like him at all.
You might not, but I do.
Okay.
But you're talking about losing guys that were big-time leaders for the defense. Jonathan Sawyer.
Holy shit.
Who the hell is that?
Jack Sawyer. I'm losing my mind. Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau. There are.
Is that the guy from Lost? Is that Jonathan?
Yeah. I don't know. I never watched Lost.
You watched Lost?
No, I didn't.
What's the matter with you?
What the hell?
I didn't. It's going to be an interesting year to see where the pass rush is coming from, because the two biggest pass rushers for Ohio State obviously gone from last year, and a couple leaders gone from last year. So you got this Ohio State defense that still has kind of big time playmakers out there, but some unknowns up front for sure. Against, again, in my opinion, it's a very unknown Texas Longhorns offense. Like, I think everybody, when I hear people breaking this game down, it's like, well, the Longhorns have the experience on offense. And then I look and I go, where?
Yeah.
Like, outside of the fact that maybe you can say Arch Manning is a little bit more experienced than Julian Sayin, this much more experienced.
Right.
Outside of that, their wide receivers are not more experienced. Again, you lost your top 2 wide receivers. Your tight ends, not more experienced. Your running backs are not more experienced. Like, I don't know where the experience they're talking. And even there's a lot of youth on that offensive line for Texas as well. So, again, I think the whole storyline revolves around Arch Manning. And is he his uncle's? Because if he is, it's going to be a hard day for Ohio State.
Sure.
But if he looks like a guy that's starting his first big game in college football, Ohio State's defense looks like they match up pretty well here.
Yeah, I think so. And I think one thing you're missing, Mike, was the quarterback of this defense from last year came back. Sonny Styles is still there, so he's going to be making he's going to be making the checks. He's going to be making the defensive calls. He's going to help this defensive line out. Some of them do have a little bit of experience along that line, but it's a matter of can they get after him. I mean, obviously, I think with both of these quarterbacks, you have to get after him, because if not, obviously Arch Manning is also very talented. So I mean, with any talented quarterback, if you give them time, they're gonna find the open receiver. So pressure, dial up the blitzes. I think Matt Patricia is going to get very creative. I mean, he's a guy that's been around the block, so he knows how to dial some stuff up to really hopefully confuse Arch. So if they can get after him, which hopefully they can, especially with a brand new offensive line, I think they can be successful. But it's a matter of if they can or not. Right. In the past few years, Ohio State, and we'll see this. We'll see how if Matt Patricia can scheme up some pressure. But in the past few years, Ohio State hasn't really been a terrific pass rushing team.
Yeah.
But in this instance, they're going to have to if they want to give themselves a chance. So I think this is the more intriguing matchup in this game is the Ohio State defense versus that pretty much brand new Texas offense. So I don't know who I give the leg up to here. There's more veterans on that Ohio State defense, but there's only a couple of them. But anytime you have the best defensive player in the country in Caleb Downs, that's also a good start. So we'll see.
And I think that's the other really interesting thing coming into this year for Ohio State, right? Like Ryan Day, kudos to him. You're now a national champion winning college football head coach. And people
never beat Michigan. Well, hasn't beat Michigan recently. Sorry.
Correct, but he's. I'll take a national championship over a win over Michigan any day of the week.
Yep.
But those two coordinators, you talked about Matt Patricia, and Matt Patricia's in a position where he knows success as a defensive coordinator. I think there's this. Once you go to the NFL and you fail as a head coach, like Matt Patricia did so horrifically as the head coach of the Detroit Lions, it's like people assume you're just a bad coach all the time. Matt Patricia's he's a phenomenal defensive coordinator. I mean, from his New England days, man. Yeah. Matt Patricia coaches defense.
How he got the head coach job.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really all that concerned about Matt Patricia as the defensive coordinator for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm going to be honest with you. If there's one guy who I'm more interested in seeing whether he's learned something or not, it's on the other side of the football. I know everybody loves Brian Hartline. Everybody loves Brian Hartline.
As they should.
Former Buckeyes wide receiver, former Buckeyes wide receivers coach. But if you'll recall, Brian Hartline had a point in time a couple of years ago was calling plays for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and it didn't go well.
Right.
And then Chip Kelly came in last year, and it went really well. And now they're giving it back to Brian Hartline. So I know Brian Hartline is on this pedestal for Ohio State Buckeyes fans, and I love Brian Hartline, but I think he has something to prove. I think Brian Hartline has something to prove, and I think it's more so than Matt Patricia does.
Yeah. I don't have anything to add to that because I completely.
Such a good point.
It is.
You're welcome.
It is. He's not proven as a coordinator yet. I mean, I think because didn't Ryan Day take over play calling in halfway through that year, something like that?
Yep.
Yeah. I think the guy we're forgetting about on that, and that's a guy I'd like to see him dial up plays for as well. But Max Clare from Purdue, the top tight end transfer, that's another guy at Julian Saint's disposal that Hartline has so. I guess the same thing goes for Hartline as it does for Julian Saint. You've got so much at your disposal. Be creative and use it all.
Or even don't be all that creative and just get the ball in these guys' hands and let them do their thing.
Yes.
You don't really even have to be all that creative.
No, you don't. You're right. You don't, but maybe.
All right, so noon on Saturday, the Texas Longhorns, the top-ranked team in the country, coming into Ohio State, the number 3 ranked team in the country, but the reigning national champs. Both teams off of really good seasons, deep playoff runs for both of them. Guys, give me your score predictions. Ohio State, Texas, at the Horseshoe. Saturday at noon.
At the shoe, man. Ah, man, I love a good 34-28 here. Give me the Ohio State Buckeyes, man. It's possible.
31-28 Buckeyes in overtime.
Oh, don't.
Wait, sorry. Do we still have Fielding as our kicker?
Do we? I don't know.
Yeah.
That might change my 3 field goals I put.
Yeah, Jaden Fielding. Yep. Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
What's the touchdown less than that?
Overtime. I think
give me 35-28. No, I'll stick with 34 because he's gonna miss a PAT. 34-28. Final answer.
The PAT is not a 35-yard field goal, Joe. The PAT is being made in college all the time.
He's just saying.
I don't like him.
Yeah. I think this game, the different factors in this game, it just has, it gives me it's gonna get close and someone's gonna score a touchdown late to send it into overtime. This game just gives me that because it's a brand new year. Everybody's trying to figure everybody out. It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be overtime. Buckeyes still win though.
Man. I think the Buckeyes. I honestly think the Buckeyes. No.
You are freaking out, man.
I think the Buckeyes are more prepared to win early than the Texas Longhorns are.
Oh.
I think the offense is. I don't know what everybody's talking about. I know Julian saying has got to prove it, and that again, we talked about quarterbacks. It's the biggest part of it. But everything else on this Ohio State offense, I think, is better than the Texas offense. Everything, every single position, almost on the Ohio State offense is better than everything on the Texas offense. And then we'll see how the quarterback goes. So I think Texas's offense is the one that could maybe look like it struggles a bit. Because even if you want to really buy into Arch Manning, there's a lot of other guys out there that are really getting their first looks at pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to take Texas's offense a bit to get into it. And I think it's going to take Texas's defense a bit. So I think Texas is more like the team that could be really dangerous when it comes time to the playoffs. I think once they are all played a full season together and ready to go, I think they could be really dangerous there. But I think in Columbus, Ohio, on an August Saturday afternoon, I think it's 31-17 Buckeyes. And I think the Ohio State Buckeyes are taking down the number 1 team in the country and getting their season started off just the way they ended it, with a victory in this season. That's how I think this is going.
All right.
Let's talk about really quickly. Just give us picks on those other games. Alabama, Florida State. Just picks.
Florida State. Give me some weirdness.
Florida State at
Come
home.
on. Seminoles have a lot to are they're going to come in motivated. They stunk last year.
Alabama's going to kick the shit out of them. What are you guys talking about?
Yes, they are. But
Notre Dame
some crazy shit. Huh?
Notre Dame at Miami.
I hate Carson Beck. Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carson Beck sucks hard.
Yeah.
Hard suck.
I just hate Miami. They just
Jeremiah Love's going to run for 65,000 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Joe, can I say something?
Yeah.
I kind of miss Miami.
Kind of miss Miami.
I agree with that.
I was in high school when Miami was Ken Dorsey and Willis McGahee and Jonathan Vilma and Andre Johnson and all the best players you've ever seen, Sean Taylor and all the best players you've ever seen in your whole life. And it was fun when Miami was just ruthlessly good every year. And I miss them a little bit. I liked that version of Miami, so I would like them to come back. I'll throw it out there. Miami is my favorite Florida team.
Yeah.
I would rather have Miami good than any other. First of all, get UCF out of my face. But the Florida Gators, nah. Florida State, don't give a shit about them. I would much rather see Miami good than those two teams.
Did you see that Greg Olson clip? Pardon my take or whatever?
No.
The things he said about that 2000-2001 Miami team that beat Nebraska, are just like, if you want any indication of how good those Miami teams were, just go look at that. Willis McGahee, Antrell Roll, and Sean Taylor were running down on kickoff. We're running down on kickoff. Right. Willis McGahee was put at backup fullback.
Dude, I was talking to somebody about the national championship game in 2002 that Ohio State won. And obviously Willis McGahee had the horrific leg injury.
Yeah.
And the guy I was talking to was like, man, if it wasn't for that injury, I'm like, you do know that the replacements for Willis McGahee were Clinton Portis and Frank Gore.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's why.
Outrageous.
I mean, when you think about all those, oh God, Jeremy Shockey, Andre Johnson, Roscoe Parrish.
Unreal.
It's just all of those guys.
Unreal.
Bryant McKinney at left tackle.
They were unbelievable. Last one that we talked about, the Death Valleys, though. I can't wait for this. I really think this game's going to be fun as shit to watch. Especially, I think Clemson's back a little bit, even though I hate Dabo is my least favorite of all the college coaches. But LSU on the road against Clemson in the Orange Death Valley at night. Dabo's going to do his corny ass run down the hill in his khakis, looking like Jake from State Farm, like a douche.
What's the LSU coach name again?
Brian Dipshit Kelly.
He's the other worst one.
He's the other one.
Yeah,
this is the battle of the. You know what? This is the battle of the asshole of the week coaches in college football.
Like
this is the asshole of the week bowl.
I like LSU. Like I just don't like them with him as a coach.
We're calling it, guys. Clemson, LSU. Saturday night, Clemson Death Valley, asshole of the week bowl between Dabo and Brian Kelly. Who wins it?
First off, I wish both of these coaches could meet at midfield before the game and get into an argument and then simultaneously punch each other in the nuts.
It should be like a presser W or USC or something, you know?
Yeah. These guys are the two biggest douchebags in college football. God. I'm going to say Clemson because they're at home, right? I think they have the better defense. I mean, both Cade Klubnik and Garrett Nussmeier are good quarterbacks, but I think Clemson probably has a better defense.
Yeah, give me Clemson.
I think Nussmeier's all right.
Yeah, he's fine.
I think Klubnik's good. I think he's really good, and I'll take Clemson for that at home. Last one. I do want to bring this one up because if you're not watching it, something's wrong with you. Monday night football, college Monday night football, 8 p.m. 5-year time. Joe, you better wrap up work early.
It's A&M probably.
No, it ain't. We're gonna see Bill Belichick's first stint as a head coach in college football, and I don't know how good either one of these teams are going to be, but at least it's a big program. It's TCU, it's North Carolina at home. Is Belichick going to be a good college football coach?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is Jordan going to be on the sidelines?
Jordan. just telling a coach is going to come up to Belichick and she's going to be like, no, you don't get to talk to him.
Yeah. Come here, Bill. Let me fix that collar. Your collar is just all over the place. Man, I mean, initial instincts is, yeah, sure. I mean, obviously, if you're a kid in that program, how do you not just have immediate respect for Bill Belichick, right? I mean, you're going to listen to what he says, and he's got a great transfer quarterback in there, Gio Lopez, I think his name, from TCU, actually. I think his name is. I think he was from TCU. I'm going to go with North Carolina because TCU defensively is not good, and I think Bill is going to have the Tar Heels very disciplined, and I think they're going to. I think they'll win that game handily.
I'm so interested. North Carolina's the place that old coaches go to die. Apparently, like Mac Brown. All of a sudden, now it's Bill Belichick.
Right.
I don't know if I'm buying into Bill Belichick, the college football coach. I don't know if I'm buying into him really hitting the recruiting trail and doing all that. I think I'm buying into Bill Belichick being just kind of trying to live off his name and see what happens. And he'll probably get some recruits that way, but I don't know if he's going to get that many recruits that way. So I don't think I'm buying into it.
Maybe if he brings Jordan with him.
Well, maybe he'll get some recruits that way.
This is Jordan. She's gonna be there with you.
Yeah, Coach, my mom would like to ask you some questions. Who do you think you are talking to, my Bill?
Jordan, here, can you take this?
Yeah. All right, college football kicking off. Again, I'll be at the game, so I'll put some videos up and stuff from the game, Ohio State, Texas, Saturday. Chad, you'll be working it. Joe, you'll be watching it early out there, buddy. But I can't wait. We are, as I said last week, we're just so quickly approaching the best time of the year in sports, with baseball playoffs right around the corner, with hockey and basketball right around the corner, and with the NFL and college football starting. We're here. We're here, boys. We made it, and we're here. All right, last thing we got to do tonight. We got to do our cheers of the week before we get out of here. We got to end on something positive. And Chad, I'm gonna let you lead it off here. What's your cheer of the week this week?
I'm gonna cheers Aiden Huntington. Just making the team. Like I said, he Schlesinger gives me Luke Kuechly vibes. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he is, but Aiden Huntington gives me serious Aaron Donald vibes. Just short, compact, strong as an ox. Very bendy. But the reason why I'm cheersing him is just after watching his video about how he really wanted a positive video from Brian Baldinger. And just the way the kid talks, you just get the sense that he wants to be great. You just get the sense that he wants to be great, and he's going to stop at nothing until he gets there. His hashtag on his socials is "Stay Starving," and I love that about the kid. I love everything about him. And yeah, just cheers to you, man, for making the 53. And I hope this is a sign of just all incredible things to come.
I pray week 1 against Cincinnati, which I'm already telling you is going to be a win for the Browns. That's scheduled game preview for next week.
That's me too.
And I think they're gonna put it on the Bengals. But I'm already calling it. Aiden Huntington is going to be the lead back in an I formation touchdown on the goal line for the Cleveland Browns. I don't know who's going to score it. Maybe it'll be Raheem Rocket, but Aiden Huntington is going to be the fullback for that, and he's going to blow someone up in the hole. And don't tell me they're going to hand him the ball, because I don't care. I don't want him to score the touchdown. I want him to destroy a Bengals linebacker in the hole, and here comes Rocket Sanders just walking in for a touchdown. Nice. Calling it.
You really want Rocket Sanders to be the starting running back of this team, don't you?
I think he has.
Yeah. Man,
this dude is Nick Chubbish. I don't care if you think that's wild speculation. He is. He just is Nick Chubbish. And
with fumble issues.
But. Yeah. Listen, he's not perfect. Yeah. And there's a chance he's not any good. But there was a chance Nick Chubb wasn't any good either. By the way, if you want a good laugh, I do want to give you guys a good laugh. If you want a good laugh, look up Nick Chubb's pre-draft write-ups by Bleacher Report and NFL.com and all that. I went back and read them because I was really trying to compare these guys, and man, there's a lot of similarities. You know what? One thing that got said about Nick Chubb before the draft on almost every site: below average vision.
Oh,
for the running back that is one of the best vision running backs I've ever seen play football.
Yeah,
that was the pre-draft write-up on Nick Chubb, was below average vision, and something about he's below average on just like a one-cut run. And I was like, oh, you've just described the two things that Nick Chubb was elite at in his heyday. Like elite at.
Yeah.
And those were the things that he was bad at coming out of college. So
it makes me feel so old because it just doesn't feel that long ago, but it's been 10 years.
Nobody knows anything. Joe, who's your cheer of the week?
My cheer. Another picture. Baseball game.
Oh, God.
Monday night. Was Bark in the Park. I got to bring my dog to the baseball game.
Let's go.
How sick is that? We were in a section full of dogs. There was like a little cute little chocolate lab behind us, an Alaskan Malamute behind us. They had like water bowls and pee stations for them, free treats. Some lady brought around hot dogs at the ninth inning. It was like the coolest thing ever. He loved it. We had such a good time. And if there's ever one that the Guardians do, which I'm sure they do, go to it. It's a really fun time, and hopefully your dog's like chill with that kind of stuff.
Put pee stations up around the stadium, and I gotta wait in line for a urinal. Get out of here. Put a pee station up for people.
I will say,
I'm gonna lift my leg on that thing
because they were mashing home runs too, and both Padres and the Mariners.
Yeah,
and I was like, shit, are they gonna like blast off fireworks? Because they always do. And they did not blast off fireworks, so that was good. They know that the dogs are in the house. But it was a super cool experience in time. So cheers to Bark in the Park.
Did he get any boops?
You got a lot of boobs. A lot of boobs. A lot of friends. Got some pictures taken. They also let you walk the bases with the dog after the game.
Oh, sweet.
But the line was like 30 minutes, and it was already a long game because there's a lot of scoring, and we're just like, do it next time. But next time, walk the bases with the dog and have him poop on the field.
Did they do the old doorbell? Get everybody to bark?
No, they do they play the Circle of Life or like some Lion King song. Nice. And but my dog's 95 pounds, and I could do that.
Minor League Parks will play the doorbell sounder to get everybody to bark.
The dogs go nuts. Shout out to Finley. Shout out to Finley. For making an appearance on the show too. By the way, speaking of the Seattle Mariners, I know how bad the Guardians have been lately, but there's a series against the Mariners this weekend, and it's like the Guardians' last bastion of hope.
Yeah.
If they want any hope to have like kind of at least a fun September where maybe they can make a push, not in the division but in the wild card, they kind of have to sweep Seattle.
It has to be a sweep against Seattle.
Yeah. So and that's gonna be tough because Seattle's really good right now. But Josh Naylor returns to Cleveland. Eugenio Suarez, man, he's been mashing.
Have I missed Josh Naylor? Oh my gosh, dude! Just a guy that just gets a hit. Yep. He's a guy that just gets a hit, man.
Yep.
And we just don't have that.
Guardians Go ahead.
I was gonna say, we're not gonna talk about this past weekend in Texas and the Rays series. Well, the
Rays, they won the series. That's good.
But it was just good to see some guy like Josh get a hit. And if he signs again, that would be my first Mariners jersey I buy, just purely for the Cleveland.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I would encourage you to buy that.
Yeah, he's in a 1-year deal. So
big. Well, yeah, no, I mean if he resigns, big series though. Guardians, Mariners this upcoming weekend. Guardians with an off day. God, they need it. But again, they're 500, and there's still technically a chance. They just got to sweep the Mariners, so we'll see what happens.
And just real quick, sorry, before you go, next season, Guardians Open in Seattle, 4-game series. If you boys are interested in coming out, it's gonna be cold as shit.
Lead it off, baby. Let's go.
Over. I'll be going to 4 games.
All right.
I'm gonna surprise you guys with my cheer of the week. I'm gonna surprise you guys. My
Deshaun
cheer of the
Watson.
week. Yeah, RG3.
I would be genuinely surprised if that was it.
That'd be awesome.
No.
Way to go. Way to be on the comeback trail, DW.
Hell no. I love those Instagram stories, baby. No. But I am going to cheers the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to cheers the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
For what?
A little graphic came out today. And the Browns were the second best team in football.
Yes.
Shut up.
No, I know what you're saying. No, I'm not going to say it, but I know what you're going to do. And I love this.
The Browns were the second best team in football in one category. The best team in football was the Cincinnati Bengals. But the Browns were the second best team in football in one category. You know what it is, Chad. Joe, what are the Browns the second best team in all of the NFL at?
To the Bengals?
Correct. The Bengals are number 1.
Club suite TV sizes being small.
Nice.
I mean, I like where your head's at.
Nailed it.
I like where your head's at, but no, let's go a little more topical to our podcast. The Cleveland Browns in the entire NFL have the second lowest average price for a beer.
Hey,
in the entire NFL, Cleveland Browns second lowest on average. The Cleveland Browns, it's like $7 for a beer.
Wow.
At a Browns game. And that's the second lowest in all of football. The Bengals are like $6.75. So
can I tell you who's at the top of that list?
Well, I was going to say, I got it written down here. And Chad, you saw the list, so maybe we'll let Joe go after, but I don't know if you remember the list either, Chad. But I have the list of like the top 10 most expensive beers that you can buy in the NFL. So I don't know if you remember it, Chad. If you don't really remember the top 10, jump in and help. But why don't we see if you guys can get the top 10 beer prices in the NFL?
The SoFi teams.
Yeah, I would say San Francisco's got to be up there.
So hold on, wait a minute. I'm going to tell you where you're at. The LA teams are number 5.
Oh,
So LA
Okay.
and LA teams that play in the same city are the same city. Number 5. San Francisco's number 4.
Okay.
By the way,
has to be top 5 because I know it.
Hold on.
It hurts.
Hold on. Okay, Cleveland was $7.85 or no $7.25 or something like that for their beers. LA is $14 a beer.
Gross.
And San Francisco is also $14 a beer. Which one were you saying, Joe?
Seattle is top 5 for sure.
Seattle is not on the list.
What?
Not on the list.
I'm pulling out second mortgages for my beers
gonna-
at the Mariners game, man.
Well, the Seahawks are better.
I'm gonna go New York and Vegas.
So Vegas is number 2, $14.99 a beer. So basically
Fuck's
$15
sake.
a beer.
Is this like the lowest price for a beer? At that
Average
city?
beer cost. Average cost
beer
of beer.
Okay.
New York,
Dallas.
the Giants and the Jets, $13. How about this? Dallas? Not on the list.
I'm trying to think of like the big markets, like the bigger
The number one team's gonna just knock you off your chair.
Miami.
Miami is low on the list. Miami's number 9, $12 a beer.
Okay. Oh shit.
Houston.
Houston, number 8,
Okay.
$12.79 a beer.
It's like the warmer Tampa.
Tampa is number 3,
Holy shit.
$14.25 a beer. So you guys have everything except, I think I only did 9, actually. You guys have everything except for 9 and 1.
Boston. Whatever they are. New England.
No. New England, not on the list.
Oh, okay. Oh, I remember number 1.
All right, don't say it.
I won't, but I remember number 1 now from the graphic.
Yep, don't say
I'll
it.
throw me in the Cardinals as like a weird obscure one.
No. More middle of the road, the Cardinals.
Number 1's kind of weird, but when you like think about it, then like, yeah, it is.
Yep,
It is.
big major city.
Atlanta.
Nope.
Atlanta.
Major city, East Coast.
Oh, East Coast.
Uh,
Baltimore.
Oh God, you're really close.
DC.
That's it.
That's it.
The Washington Commanders, $16.49 a beer average.
Go fuck
Average.
yourselves.
$16.49.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Can you get number 9? You haven't said it yet. Can you get number 9? It's a city where a lot of beers get drank.
New Orleans.
Buffalo.
New Orleans Saints.
Oh, New Orleans.
New Orleans Saints, $11.75 a beer. So
Woo!
the top 9 range from $11.75 to $16.49. The Bengals, the only team under $7, and the Browns were right at $7. Those are the 2 lowest beer prices in the NFL. So you know what?
Is that
Shout out-
average by quantity of beer sold or the options available?
Joe, I don't fucking know.
The price. It's the price of beer.
Well,
It's the
that
price.
that's not a good statistic in my opinion. I think we need to be a little more specific with that because if it's options, I just disagree with that list because there's only a couple options in that low price tier category. If it's quantity of beer sold, everyone's buying the cheap beer.
Joe, the way your brain is not working right now, it makes me feel like if they would have rang a doorbell at the Mariners game, you would have barked.
I'm
You
running
would've
circles
barked.
around your brain. I'm running circles around
would've
your brain
barked.
right now.
All right, boys, let's get out of here. This has been a blast of an episode. I can't believe it's 10:53. We just keep going. A lot of people jumped in on this episode, over almost 700 people while we were live. That was awesome. That was awesome. Let's do our thank yous and let's get out of here. First, our first thank you goes out to Nathan Zegura, the Browns color analyst for the radio. Nathan was awesome. He gave us a little time in a time where everybody is asking him to do things. And he came on with us. Nathan is just absolutely the best. So big shout out to Nathan. Can't wait to listen to him, Andrew, Gerard calling games for the Browns radio network. And, you know, a special shout out to Jimmy Donovan. First year, he's not going to be there right from the beginning. And so shout out to Jimmy as well. Next thank you goes out to the OBR for hosting us. The Orange and Brown Report is the oldest and largest Browns coverage site in all of Cleveland. So make sure you get to the OBR.com and hit subscribe and hit like and follow on all the socials to make sure you are tuned into everything OBR as the Browns season goes on. And our last thank you and our biggest thank you goes out to all of you guys, like Pat Shea here. Said he had he had fun. Pat has fun.
Awesome, Pat.
California. You're out on Joey's coast, so it's not even late for you right now.
No.
Pat Shea had a good time. Fun show. You guys in the comments were awesome. The comments were great tonight, so big time shout out to everybody in the comments. And again, if you're listening to us or watching us later because you couldn't join us live, shout out to you as well. We thank you. We appreciate you. And we love the fact that you come hang out with us on Garage Beers week after week. We got a fun show coming next week. Get ready for the Cleveland Browns schedule game, a tradition unlike any other. The Cleveland Browns schedule game. We're going to see. We were really optimistic about the Browns over the last several years. I have a feeling that might be a little bit different this year. So you might want to tune in next week for the Browns schedule game. That's going to do it for episode 278. For Joey in Seattle, for Chad on the east side of Cleveland, I'm Michael Keefe. We'll see you next week for episode 279. Until then, cheers, everybody.